What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
Mr. James, shoot!
.com, and we're here for Rachel McAdams, who just announced she's pregnant today.
Oh, wow. Congratulations
just to randomly tell you that random useless information.
I do love me some Regina George.
And Jason Bateman in Game Night.
Yes, which I wish we were having a game night, but instead we're going to watch a movie called Game Night, which is cool. Definitely.
You do love board games.
I do. I'm like, this movie was kind of meant for me, because if I love anything, it's game nights. And even though I will say, one of my issues with this movie is like they're playing chess and Scrabble, and that's just not how game nights work now. We're on a whole nother level. But anyway, Jason Bateman, you know, he's really popular in comedies and starring in comedies, but I found out why he's always usually the main star with a co-star with somebody. It's because he's really good at making someone else look really good. I don't think, like, I've never met anyone who's like, oh, Jason Bateman's my favorite comedic actor, you know? He's kind of vanilla. But what works is that he's always teamed up with Melissa McCarthy or Charlie Day, who did Horrible Bosses, which inspired this movie, the same producers. And then in this movie, Rachel McAdams, who, you know, everyone talks about The Notebook. And, like, you know, then there are people who talk about Mean Girls. But I think she doesn't get enough credit for being as funny as she is. And I think the one thing I took, well, one of the two things I took from this movie is that Rachel McAdams is really funny.
What about the fact that she's really, really attractive?
She is really, really attractive, and what makes her even more attractive is the fact that she's funny. I mean, she had me cracking up sometime. She's got great energy, and I honestly don't even remember the last thing I saw Rachel McAdams in.
Well, the beautiful part about humor is if you're like 1 through 10, you're whatever, it doesn't matter the number, but then you're funny too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and she's absolutely funny. So, Game Night, if you don't know, tells the story of Jason Bateman and his wife, Rachel McAdams, who go to Rachel McAdams' brother-in-law, Jason Bateman's brother's house, to play this murder mystery game. But, lo and behold, it's real!
Da, da, da.
So, like most comedies like this movie is filled with twists and turns, and it overdoes itself, right? Like, it overcomplicates itself. Like, all right, I get it, this is real, I'll suspend my disbelief for this moment. But then in the movie, it just gets more and more complicated and more trite. But surprisingly, I found it to have its really funny moments. I don't think it perfectly worked for me, but let me try to talk Game Night here. I think there's no risk. And I think date nights for people who are coming to see a comedy with their loved ones will not be sorry. There's no trouble here, if you catch my drift.
Did you feel that any of the actors monopolized the screen?
Well, I think that it was an intense operation, you know. But
but all the actors were pretty even, so it wasn't a falling Jenga.
Exactly, but you know, I could take a clue. No, I think this is a really...
So after I watch this movie tomorrow, will I need an operation?
I used operation already.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I don't really listen to you.
That's true. But don't break the ice here. No, I think it's a very safe comedy. I think like people will go and have a good time. I think it has moments of comedy. I will say, beyond Rachel McAdams, as great as she is in this movie, the star, like the hero of this movie, is Jesse Plemons, who is the guy that people always say looks like Matt Damon, a much like whiter version of Matt Damon.
Oh, he was in the USS Callister.
He was in Battleship, which is another game movie.
it freaking.
I just put that together.
Black Mirror.
Yeah. So he plays this cop in this movie.
He does look like Matt Damon.
He does look like Matt
Holy crap.
Damon. He is the next door neighbor of Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams, and he plays the most straight-faced creeper cop in the world. He's just petting his not a Maltese, but it kind of looks like a Maltese, maybe a long-haired Maltese. I've never been good with dog breeds, but he's always just like petting it, and he's really creepy. And every time he was on screen, the audience was dying laughing. He's so funny and just plays it so straight. Again, I think it's a movie that overcomplicates itself. It runs a bit long, but overall I think it has its moments of humor, and I think it's worth watching. And I think it's maybe a good alternative to a game night.
So I need to watch it.
I think you'll like it more than I did.
Okay.
You know, because I think you're a bit more forgiving when it comes to like over. Yeah. But I did. I think there were some really genuine moments of laughter, and you know, I was a fan of Horrible Bosses too. Well, actually, I was a fan of 1 and 2. So I mean, I think these guys work well with Bateman, and they know what they're doing. And I think Rachel McAdams, I'm expecting a lot more comedies from her because she was a riot.
I love her. She's so awesome.
Yeah. Good stuff.
We also did a review for Annihilation,
which is a completely different movie.
Like 180.
Yeah, no, 360. Oh, I guess 360.
360 we come back to
this. True. Well, it'd be what's a mirror of a 360? Like a 270? Never mind. Just go watch our review for Annihilation.
I mean, you could say 540.
540.
Because it's a whole roundabout plus you go back.
Oh yeah, it's like that. But I don't know. I've never been good in geometry.
I failed it the first time.
I barely
I'm not
got.
kidding. I'm not even kidding.
I
I'm not
barely
proud of
got
that.
through geometry. So anyway,
next week, though.
a good thing we don't review textbooks or math books or anything like that. We review
Jennifer
movies.
Lawrence in Red Sparrow.
Yes, and Bruce Willis in
The remake.
Death Wish. Yeah,
Which one are you excited about?
Red Sparrow for sure.
Russian Killing.
Yeah,
You know, I'm a big fan of the show The Americans.
Are you?
Big fan.
Well, as you know, being a dear friend of mine for many years, I really am bad with television. I should, being someone who writes about movies, I should be a little bit better with my television, but I'm not. And I've heard good things about that show, though. But I have seen the original Death Wish, and this one with Bruce Willis doesn't look anything like it. So I'm curious to see. I mean, I'm pretty sure I get the gist. It's Bruce Willis, shooting some dudes.
It looks like they're adding comedy in this one
I think you have. I think
instead of a serious film.
yeah, because the first one was pretty intense. I mean,
Yeah.
the first Charles Bronson,
I haven't seen it, but I know it was a serious film.
Story, basically, his wife and his daughter are raped, and I believe
horrible.
someone is killed, and then he obviously goes out for revenge. In a time period where, hippies were not very, very popular. The movie was a very conservative movie back in the day. But this movie looks like it's going to replicate that kind of, like, I'm just going out for revenge, and I'm going to be shooting dudes. But I think at the same time, someone like Bruce Willis, you want to kind of make it funny because he is kind of charming, where like Liam Neeson didn't have as much charm as like to pull off the comedy, and I think you kind of got to go along with it because of Bruce's age. Not that I think he looks bad for his age, or like I don't believe he's badass, because he'll forever be John McClane to me. But you got to give and take. You want people to kind of like, okay, this isn't as serious as the original Death Wish, which I wasn't that much of a fan of to begin with, but. You never know.
Love it. So if you want to come with us, just let us know, and then
Go check out this guy's channel. He'll teach you something really interesting. I think that Mr. James Shoes is always really great here at Chasing Cinema, but he really shines doing his other thing, and has some really big news coming up this coming year, and I think
very
that
excited.
you're going to want to hear it. So make sure to go check out his channel and follow his journey, because his journey is quite fascinating, and I think like movies, you could always learn something from it.
love it. ChasingCinema.com is known as
The Film Lovers website.